Hi everyone, welcome back to Weekly Thought Fuel with Keith and Sara at the Leaders ICM. Today we're going to be talking about level 5, which is this ultimate goal that we're working towards on our vertical development journey, this ideal state as far as the highest state that we can measure. So what is level 5? What's it look like that we're growing towards?
First and foremost, for almost everybody watching this video, unless you're in your 70s or beyond, this is aspirational. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing I want to point out. The second thing is it's a very integrated and other focused way of understanding the world, and it's open to what's new in the world, and how my self-authored inside-out way is but a way. It's not the way. There are many ways, and all of those ways are in pursuit of a larger goal.
So we talked about with level 4 that becoming level 4 was about was creating this self-authored paradigm. I've now decided how I'm going to see the world and how I'm going to behave. Mm-hmm. So level 5 is a little bit like saying I'm going to now hold that with an open hand without discarding it and starting over.
Yeah, I'm not going to give it away, but I've got to loosen my grip on it in order to grow to level 5. I've got to become open to what is new in others' perspectives, and recognizing that actually the most true place between the two of us is probably between us, not in either one of our positions. And so there's an openness that is characteristic of level 5, but I don't want all of our level 3 listeners to think, well, I'm open.
It's open without being swayed.
It's open with groundedness. It's a crazy paradoxical kind of understanding. And when you think of the most sage, the most wise people you know, usually older, usually later in life, it's the person that when you're with them and they kind of put everything into this bigger picture, and when you spend time with them, you don't feel like it was my generation versus their generation, or my position versus their. It feels generative and integrated and growth oriented, and like they were totally present with you. And listen, it took us 2 whole chapters in the book to really fully explain level 5. But I hope that gives the listeners of these weekly thought fuels an idea that this is this much bigger picture place. And the crazy thing is, Sara, is right now what we believe to be true is that only about 15% of the population, no matter how long they live, actually grows there. Too many people hunker down and hang on to level 4, and they become cranky.
I know some cranky old people.
Some cranky old people, and it's either that or benign, not always cranky, but it's like they just have adhered to this self-authored understanding. And level 5 is letting go of that and recognizing the fullness. Yeah.
So before we wrap up, are there any well-known people that are level 5 that we could give as an example?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we talk about national figures, Martin Luther King, by the way, got there when he was 39, but challenging contradiction in his life leading up to that point, crazy. Abraham Lincoln in his second inaugural address. I think we look at Eleanor Roosevelt late in her life. I think Nelson Mandela is a great example. So on a national figure, but here's what's more important. I think every single person watching this knows somebody who's not a national figure, that they recognize that, wow, there is a wisdom, there's a sagacity that is just beyond.
Yeah, I mean, that gives us a great thing that we can put out there and say, this is what I want to grow towards, like you said, is aspirational. So think about that. If you know a level 5 person, go spend some time with them and just ask them about the world. So
we're going to spend some time in the upcoming weeks talking about, all right, I think I know where I am. How do I grow?
Yeah.
All right, see you next week.
Bye.